I said, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boy and girl. The first thing, I would like to say thank you to everyone come to party wedding with my daughter and my son-in-law, Rob. Today, I am very happy. I'm very happy. And I would like to say to Rob, now today, I give to her my daughter for you look after very carefully. And look up her forever. Yeah. And one thing, I just say thank you very much to everybody to come. And I wish Rob and Anna very good health, happiness, and love forever. Thank you very much.
You sure you need that?
Thank you, Russell.
Is it us?
It is us.
So do I stand here?
Yes, if you'd like to. Slowly, slowly. Hello. Well, thank you very much for everyone, and thank you to my new father-in-law and mother-in-law for the speech and his very kind words. Your family has always made me feel very welcome, and I hope that you can say the same for the Cook household. Of course, that's partly on your shoulders now, Mrs. Cook. So, Anna and I would like to say... Oh, sorry, start again. My wife and I would like to say that we are so excited that you all could make it here to help us celebrate our special day. We know that a lot of you have come from very far away, and we've seen a lot of cameras going off as well, and a lot of confetti being thrown in faces. If any of you end up with some really cracking photos or videos, I know there's a lovely one of the entrance and the double guns. There's a couple of links on the gallery page of the website to share them with us, so that would be really cool if we can see those. There's so many of you here today, and it really does mean an awful lot. Hopefully, it wasn't just the offer of a nice meal that got you to come along, although we both need hope that you've really enjoyed it. Now, many of you will know that Anna here is a food lover. We've enjoyed many... Focus, Sean. We've enjoyed many delicious meals together, more than a few being courtesy of her mum's fabulous cooking. Of course, to capitalise on this, I've tried to use her love of food to help me woo her over the years. Most of the time, it's gone just fine. And we've gone to fancy restaurants, had exotic meals, and some good old-fashioned home cooking. There was one occasion where this really didn't work. So...
There's been several occasions.
that might be true. We were in North Wales last October and had picked a day with really lovely fair weather to climb Mount Snowdon. We were about 3/4 of the way up the mountain and had just had our lunch. But Anna said she was feeling a bit fatigued and wasn't sure she was going to make it, possibly carrying too much. So we did what we could. We took all the weight out of her pack that we could, and we tried to make sure that she was light enough that she could get to the top there. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough, and she started to really flag as we were approaching the final push to the summit. Being the prepared person that I am, I knew that I had a bunch of energy gel packets in my bag, which are these high-carb, sugar, caffeinated things that are like rocket fuel for exercise. Give her one of those. I was expecting 5 minutes, sugar kicks in, bam, hit the summit. How wrong I was. 10 minutes later, having shown no signs of a sugar hit, Anna was suddenly literally doubled over with pain. Stomach cramps, shivering, and generally not seeming like someone about to run up a mountain. Down jackets were dug out of packs, and we tried to sort of keep her warm, and suddenly this lovely day out had turned into a mountain rescue exercise. Of course, you know that this story ends well, because Anna is still here next to me, although Snowdon does still remain unconquered. The moral of this story? Whilst the way to someone's heart may well be through their stomach, it's worth checking expiry dates. And it's never a good idea to poison your fiancé halfway up a mountain.
Thank you. Yes, poisoning your fiance before taking out life insurance is not what a smart person would do. Speaking of people, you know those people that say, "Oh, when I first met you, it was love at first sight," or "I knew from the moment I met you." I'm not one of those people. But there is a saying that I do believe in, and which is, when you know, you know. And I know that I've made the right choice in this one. Aww, granted, that choice came from desperation. Let me elaborate a little bit.
Or dig further?
Just a little bit. So, for those of you who don't know, Rob and I met online. Excuse me. And, no. It was a different one. And he, basically, I had my search radius to 10 miles. But unfortunately, there was no good fish in that pond. So I decided to cast my net a little bit further out to 50 miles. But luckily, the app does distance by, let me get this right, by as the crow flies rather than actual distance in real life. Because in reality, he's actually 60 miles away from me.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, no. But joking aside, Rob, I just want to say thank you so much for putting up with all my quirks, for listening to all my Grandpa Simpson's ramblings, and for never thinking that I needed to change anything about me. You are a very, very patient man, and for that I am grateful. You are my biggest cheerleader, a great soundboard, and now officially my husband. So I would like to make a toast to you, to my new husband, Rob. So yes, I do, for the record, love you very much. And I can't wait to start spending the rest of our lives together. Oh, thank you, Russell. Now, speaking of lives, I would like to thank my parents for giving me mine. Thank you, Mummy and Daddy, for raising me and keeping me safe and alive all these years. That has now been passed on to Rob. Your record hasn't been good. Thank you for teaching us the traditions of our culture. We will make sure we pass it on to our children. Thank you to my new mother and father-in-law, Kamala and Martin. Thank you very much. You have always been very welcoming and have always treated me as one of your family, even before this became official. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. To our wonderful flower girls, Autumn and Iris, who's kind of gone for a little bit of a nap. But I'm sure, her parents will pass on our thanks. Thank you for leading us down the aisle. Thank you to our ring bearers, Alexander and Haru, who are excitedly outside, so they won't hear it. But I'm sure, again, their parents will pass on our thanks. Just want to say thank you to them for not losing the rings. And to our ushers, Snow and Joshua, even. Thank you for directing everybody. You've done a great job because we haven't lost anyone. And lastly, I would like to thank my boys and girls, Susie, Stephen, Jenny, and Fong. You really are the best bridal party any bride could ever ask for. You have been, you've been awesome. There's been no drama. You've worked so well together, and absolute dream, absolute dream. So just a quick round of thank yous. Susie, thank you for always helping me fill in the gaps in my thoughts. Thank you, Fong, for always being conveniently ill for whenever I've needed you. It's come in very handy.
There's no one from his office, right?
Yeah, no one's from his office.
Okay.
Thank you, Jenny, for whenever things needed to be done, you just got it done. And you got it done specifically without complaining. So I appreciate that. And to Stephen, thank you for trying to get me into shape. But I think we all knew I needed professional help. And also a diet. You have put in the most sweatshop hours.
Yep.
And for that, I thank you so much, because honestly, without your help, I would not have passed the finish line on so many of these personal touches throughout the whole of today. So, yeah, you've been a tremendous, tremendous help. And thank you so much for that, because if it wasn't for your help, one, I would, like I said, not finish anything. And two, probably crying in the corner, probably that corner over there, thinking, oh my God, half the table don't know where they're supposed to sit because the towels are still in their damn boxes. But most importantly, I'm just very thankful for you all agreeing to do everything that I've asked. Asked, very specifically. Asked, not demanded, because we all have a choice in life. You guys you just fortunately made the right one by saying yes. But honestly, your support and, just you guys just being you has helped Rob and I really being able to have the wedding that we wanted. So I really have nothing but love and gratitude to you, Fantastic Four. So I would like to raise a toast to my bridal party. To you. To my. And that's you.
Thank you. Oh, yes. It then falls to me to acknowledge the good work of my groomsmen. Don't worry, this is not a long part of the speech. They've all been very good about helping in the run-up today, generally being pretty patient over, frankly, the past decade or so, knowing me. I think that over the last few years, Anna's continued presence has helped with that. They keep saying they like her more than me. And as do apparently more than a few of you. But they have done their most important task, which was to get me here today in a presentable enough manner that meant that Anna didn't run away. That was just make sure that bit of the speech was accurate. She didn't run away when she saw me earlier today. So thank you to Robert, to Mike, who's over there, and to Russell. Now, Anna does have a great skill in being able to fill silence with insightful questions. You haven't read this word, have you? You don't know what I'm about to say. Hopefully that's not been a problem for any of you today. You've been able to sort of chat with the people around the table, make some new friends perhaps, see people from you haven't seen in a little while. But just in case, let me ask you something to take back to the tables with you. What is your favourite gemstone? I mean, I literally had no answer for this when I was asked it, and mumbling diamond didn't really get me anywhere. I didn't think I'd make myself very popular by pushing back with a question, something off the wall and crazy, like, what's your favourite spanner story? Weird, there are groans. Interesting though those stories may be. Anna and her bridal party have worked like machines to provide the wedding favours that are at your seats at the beginning of the meal. Great effort from all of them there. And so by a quick show of hands around the room, who managed to guess each of these sweetie names from the clues?
Nice.
Oh, there's a few, there's a smattering. I mean, yeah, Mum did very well because she didn't even realise the answers were on the bottom. Who managed it sort of working as a team on the table? Sort of, joined effort? No, a couple of people? Yes, very good, very good. And who cheated or just ate all the sweets? Okay, yeah, good, well done. So each of you have seen that your places were marked at the tables by a personalised coaster. Those are yours to keep as a little memento as a gift from our home to yours. So please do take those home with you. We have, as much as we like entertaining people, we don't really have a need for 100 coasters. while we're on the topic of coasters, hopefully there's still a little left in your glass with your drink sitting upon them. So I'd like to just say a little thing about Anna and our future. So a wise person once said that growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional. And I'm really excited to be spending the rest of my life with Anna, starting today as husband and wife. But for those of you that know us well, have met us more than once, you'll probably know that we're not going to sign up too strongly to the growing up part. Nonetheless, you're all here celebrating with us, and we hope that you will all remain part of our journey together. And whilst we will all get at least a little older, growing up is optional. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please join us at the start of this journey by raising your glasses and toasting to not necessarily growing up. Now, this speech wouldn't be complete without mentioning someone that's very important to me. This guy is someone that I have known for, I think, over a decade now. They've been with me through troubled times, and frankly, without him, I don't think I would be here today with Anna. I think it's reasonable to call him my wingman. When I was first courting Anna, he had all the moves that she liked. He can be a bit annoying at times, but his fluffy features are frankly adorable. Certainly, I know that she said "I love you" to him long before me. Of course, it would be weird to have Cat 2 here today. So instead, I'll just hand you over to my best man, Russell, to complete your entertainment.
Well, thank you, Rob. You know, for you, I'm not sure it would have been weird to have Cat 2 as your best man. Yeah, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Russell. I'm one of Rob's long-suffering friends. As Rob and Anna have already done a number of thank yous, I only had one more. And I'm sure I speak for everyone that's here today in saying thank you to the new Mr. and Mrs. Cook for sharing your special day with us. I certainly wouldn't have missed it for the world. And it has been a really great day. This venue's lovely. Anna, you look amazing. I mean, the whole wedding party looked great, and even Rob scrubbed up quite well. I mean, look. I think the weather tried to beat us, but I think we got there in the end as well.
Thank you for all your prayers.
So yeah, speaking of Rob, I mean, where do we start? How can I tell you stories about the man who just told you the time he's poisoned his fiancée?
That one time.
The one time. Oh, there are others. Okay, yeah. We can get onto those at the bar, maybe.
Yeah.
I've got many stories about this man. I could have picked a number of them. He's nearly impossible to embarrass, as I think he's already demonstrated. But should we give it a go? Rob's, he's probably one of the smartest people I know, but he's got a tendency to hide it very well. He takes great delight in being eccentric.
I'm not rich enough to be eccentric.
No?
I think I'm just mad.
You're just mad, okay. He takes great delight in being mad. Sometimes his left field ideas can be approaching genius. Other times you despair, wondering what on earth he was thinking. I'm sure many of you know what I mean. Just such an occasion of despair and incredulity was when I was told of Rob's first meeting with some of Anna's friends. Rob decided, whilst on the train into London, it would be a good idea to invent a whole new life story. So he turned up, presumably with the intention of making a good first impression, claiming to be a sea lion tamer, complete with photos he'd put on his phone of various sea lions to whom he'd given names and created backstories for. I'm sure these guys can vouch for me, but I think it was months before all of you knew that was... So I think, just to say to Anna, I really admire your patience. Rob is very lucky to have you. And in some ways, it's almost a miracle we're here today. Another thing I find entertaining with Rob is he manages to be eccentric when he's not trying to be. I've never met anyone else in my life who's managed to burn boiled pasta, nor anyone who's failed to boil an egg. Rob failed 3 times. I mean, that's impressive. I'd say it's almost a skill. Another trait of Rob's I felt I had to mention today is his fondness for taking on projects. I'm sure you know many, but whether it's vehicles, home renovation, building robots, or simply making fancy dress costumes, Rob often goes the extra mile. I don't think I'll ever forget the occasion he turned up at my door ahead of a Halloween party wearing a red velour tunic that was so short it skirted the limits of both decency and practicality. The most positive thing I can say about the experience is Rob's commitment to a joke can be as admirable as it is ill-advised. It's kind of a compliment. I mean, you know, yeah. Don't complain at this stage. One of Rob's more ambitious and yet most successful projects to date has been with his house. It's certainly come a long way from the time a plasterer refused to do work there, describing the downstairs of the property as unsafe. I believe at the time Rob had he'd removed the kitchen, knocked down a wall, he'd pulled up half the floor, and the staircase was missing. So yeah, it was only a few months after that I first met Anna. And this was at a housewarming party for said property. I think that the image I've got in mind of meeting Anna was there she was like dressed to impress with this lovely red dress on and giant high heels, cooking Chinese spring rolls in a wok that was balanced on a camping stove that was on an old kitchen worktop that was propped up in the corner of the living room. It was quite an image, and I just found the juxtaposition like quite amusing, and I think Anna knew it as was a somewhat sort of ridiculous, but it kind of fit this man. And just the moment of Anna sort of being almost gleefully pleased that her heels were actually helping her reach the stupidly high like cooking platform with the wok. And at that moment, even then, I think it seems to me that Anna got Rob and that they'd be good together. She seems to get his humour, embrace his quirks. It's not just you know. She indulges the crazy projects and seemingly saw potential among the chaos. Either that, or she was just very desperate. Yeah. But like the rest of us that know Rob and can continue to tolerate him, I think Anna sees the charm in how Rob isn't afraid to be himself, how he's happy to forge his own path, how he has the courage and confidence to ignore convention. Rob, I think your energy and enthusiasm and self-confidence makes you who you are, and you're actually a very kind and generous and compassionate person. I'm sure many of you know that.
That must have hurt to say.
I'm feeling just a bit, yeah. I won't tell any stories about Anna. I'm conscious many of you know her better than I do, but in the time I've got to know her, she's a larger-than-life personality. She has a giant heart and possesses a level of determination I'm in awe of. Yeah. So, Rob and Anna, you guys make a great team. You're a wonderful couple, and it's my privilege to be your friend. I wish you every happiness in your future as you embark on your great new project of building a life together. So I'd just like to leave Anna with a few words of advice. So, first one, don't let Rob name the kids.
Way ahead of you.
Try and supervise when he's cooking. And make sure you veto, or at least have a veto, on all future fancy dress costumes. So to finish, I'd like to raise a few toasts. So firstly, I'd like to raise a toast to you lot for being here and just being brilliant. So to all the guests.
Yes.
And at this point, I'd also like to raise a toast for those people that couldn't be with us today and to share Rob and Anna's day. So to have some friends. And finally, can I ask all of you that can to please stand and join me in a toast even, to Mr. and Mrs. Cook.